Hello, Target Analytics community. My name's Kelly McDavid. I'm one of your senior customer support analysts. Maybe you recognize my name or my voice. I'm sure I've spoken to most of you at some point. But today I wanted to go over a new feature with ResearchPoint Razor's Edge integration where you can sync your solicitors from Razor's Edge to the corresponding donor records in ResearchPoint. There are 4 questions that you want to ask yourself if this is something that you want to utilize with your organization. So question number 1, is this something that you do want to utilize? If you do, first thing we got to do is configure this in ResearchPoint. So on your home screen in ResearchPoint, we're just going to go to the Razor's Edge integration and then configure fields. And on this second tab, this is sync from the Razor's Edge. This is where you find all your information in Razor's Edge. You want to sync over to ResearchPoint. Down here at the bottom, we want to make sure we check this box for primary solicitor information. Now in Razor's Edge, you don't have a solicitor type that's necessarily considered the primary. You do have to set a primary solicitor type in ResearchPoint, and we'll go over why we have to do that a little bit later. Over here on the right, this is where you decide which solicitor type in Razor's Edge do you want to designate as the primary type in ResearchPoint. If you click the drop down here, here are all your table entries for the solicitor types. I'm going to go ahead and leave my primary marked as Relationship Manager. Next, we want to go to the third tab, the View the Razor's Edge data, and make sure we check this box for solicitors down here so we make sure that we're able to view all the solicitors from Razor's Edge, not just the primary once we sync a record in ResearchPoint. So let's save that there. Question number 2 is, do you already utilize the Prospect Manager feature in ResearchPoint? Now if you're not familiar with this feature, it can be found here on a record underneath Research Details. The Prospect Manager I have listed here is Donald P. Schweitzer. Now your Prospect Manager can be anybody at your organization, maybe a researcher or a fundraiser or even a major gift officer that is assigned to this donor record to handle the research and prospecting of this donor. Question number 3, who do you have currently marked as solicitors in Razor's Edge? Now, solicitor type is a code table, so you can have as many solicitor types as you like. So you need to decide which solicitor types you want to actually sync and be viewed in ResearchPoint. Do you want to see all of them? Maybe you only want to see plan giving officers or volunteers or the relationship managers. Those can all be updated of who you want to see from that configure field that we just went over in configure integration. Question number 4, what solicitor type is considered the primary solicitor in Razor's Edge? Now the reason this is important is because whatever solicitor type you decide is the primary, whether that is the major gift officer or relationship manager like I selected, whichever you designate as the primary from within ResearchPoint, that is the type that will replace the Prospect Manager in ResearchPoint. Now, I will go ahead and demonstrate that to you. So what we have here is I have Donald P. Schweitzer as my current Prospect Manager. Let's see who my solicitors are in Razor's Edge. Now I have 4 solicitors here, Donald not being one of them. Maybe he is strictly a prospector or a researcher at my organization that only handles ResearchPoint. That's something you want to consider. So if I go back to ResearchPoint and I sync my record with my Razor's Edge record, I now lose Donald as my Prospect Manager. The Prospect Manager is now Alan Boyce, who, if we pull my record back up, is assigned the Relationship Manager, which, if you remember, I designated as my primary solicitor type. Now I can see all of my other solicitors in Research Point by going to Biographical Information, Relationships, and I can see them all listed under RE Solicitors. Now, a neat trick is, say you do utilize the Prospect Manager feature here, and maybe your prospect managers only work in Research Point, so they're not solicitors in Razor's Edge, and you don't want this field to be updated with somebody else. You can always come back to our Razor's Edge integration, configure fields, and choose not to sync primary solicitor information. I can choose to only sync solicitors and just view them on that biographical information tab there in Research Point. And that way I will be able to keep this field from updating. Now, if you don't use the Prospect Manager feature here in Research Point, there's nothing that you have to worry about. And that is the new feature, everything you need to know about syncing solicitors from Razor's Edge to Research Point. Until next time.